Welcome to a deep dive into the technology of the 2018 Infiniti QX60. Now, there is a lot to like about this Infiniti, but there is so much to be concerned about. So let's start with the in-touch infotainment system. Everything is controlled here on the center stack with a set of buttons and a dial. There's no control here on the armrest like in other vehicles, but it is a touchscreen. However, there's a little bit of problem with ergonomics, right? I mean, I'm a pretty tall woman and this screen is so far away, I can't even reach it without moving forward. Plus this little dial here, it doesn't stick out very far from the dash, so you really have to pay attention to make sure that you've got a good grip on it. This dial can move up and down, but that doesn't necessarily correspond to an up and down movement of the highlight on the screen. So let's say you want to get from the first tile in the first row to the first tile in the second row, you actually have to scroll through all of the icons, and it takes a lot of attention. You really have to take your eyes off the road in order to do this. But the worst part about InTouch is there is no Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Boo! So you've got to deal with a native nav system. Now, it's not that bad. It's pretty easy to enter your destination, and the map is, accurate. It gets you where you want to go, but the graphics are just really old. It's just not very fresh. The system needs a reboot and stat. And when I go into the apps button here, I've got a tile for Apps Garage, and when I press that, it just gives me all the other apps that I had on the previous screen just in a list form. So it's like, why is that button even there? But one of the coolest things is that it does have a driving performance app. I mean, this is really more of a family hauler, but hey, you want to see your G-forces and your steering angle? That's cool. Fuel consumption? Yeah, sure, that's there too. Hey, why not? It's kind of fun. When you go into your info pages, you've got everything you need to know about fuel economy and even an eco drive report. Look at that, 70 out of 100. A solid C student, go me. And then into settings, here's where you can customize everything about the InTouch system, but I did notice a weird thing about Bluetooth. You have to connect it twice, once for your phone and then once for your audio device. It's just a weird little quirk. And then in status, you've got your audio on the top, and then you can scroll through to have navigation, HVAC, or fuel economy on the bottom. But where the QX60 really shines is when it comes to driver's aids. Now, of course, it's got adaptive cruise control. It will follow a lead car, even bring you to a complete stop and a pause. But after that, you're gonna have to re-engage the system by flicking the button here on the steering wheel. It does not work with the accelerator pedal. And it's got a really cool feature called Distance Control Assist, which is kind of like half of adaptive cruise control in that it keeps a designated distance between you and the car in front of you. Now, while you're driving in the city, some people might take advantage of that and swoop on in and cut you off, but when you're in stop and go traffic, it really is awesome. But one of the coolest things is that you can customize how you want your driver's aids to appear and then just turn them all on and off at once. So I can go into the little menu here. If I want my lane assistance on or off, I can just select it here. And then once I get all the settings right, I can just click this button on the steering wheel and the way that I've configured them will turn on and off. So there's no fumbling around every time you get on the cart. It's all stored right here in this button. Now this QX60 has been around for quite some time, so I'm sure we're going to get an update in the future, and maybe at that point we'll have a new InTouch system. But for now, great driver's aids, bad infotainment. Hey, if you're digging on all these deep dives, subscribe to Roadshow right here on the YouTubes. We got a million of them, and they're all for you.